Hey guys, how's it going? May 16th, 2022. And I was born on this day 50 years ago. Woo. Anyways. I guess the big 5-0. So, yeah. Been a good day though. Better day than I expected it to be. All that matters now, everything's just a number. It don't mean much. It hasn't mean much for years, but at least I get a few extra donuts, free donuts at work and shit like that. Just what my body needs after the whole weekend of actually getting a lot of exercise. But anyways, let's move on. I got the chat open. We're ready to go. I'm going... this is perfect night to get this going. Q452. It looks like... let me bring that up to the front here. I think somebody ran Q452 in and then they just stopped it, so it actually shows as Q452, which is interesting. But it doesn't show it when it's AI. So let me see if I can find it. I know it's in here. Is that the one? I think this is the one right here. Lots of Chicago. I don't know what the hell that is. That's just a lot of Chicago. I think somebody just put a bunch of Chicago on there for some reason. As long as they're on there. I haven't read all the notes, but okay, yeah, that's good. That's fine. They can do that. You can use extra things as... Oh, maybe not. No, that's me. I overflowed that. I overflowed that last night. I remember doing that. Okay. I did that. I don't know why I said that. I'm looking in the bowl. I'm not going to find anything down here. I want to see the receiving, you idiot. Yeah. I'm doing a tutorial on how to work Waycross. Good start. So what I'm doing now is I'm looking for a train that just cleared, which is probably this one right here. So I want to get them as close as I can to the end. There he is. So he is AI'd. Okay, so he kind of gave up. So we'll just relinquish him then. As long as he's in here. I think he gave up because... I don't know. Is there something in here? There's... They decided to bring a train in behind another train? I think that was a mainline train that ran in behind that. I mean, that would shock the hell out of me if that was the case. If they doubled up, that would be impressive. But I think somebody just decided to use that. I don't know. That's just weird. I don't know what happened. If they're smart enough to do that, that's pretty impressive. But that was there like that yesterday. So tonight I'm going to show you a couple things. The sheets have been updated. Now the matrix we ran, or sorry, the hump at Waycross, we actually had the hump configuration changed to add in a few more things because we're not going to change the hump controller. So let's do that. First of all, let me just make sure everything is okay, which it looks like everything is. Yeah, everything's fine right now, except Waycross. We got to deal with this. There's a lot we got to do in 2 hours. We probably don't have enough time, so we got to get moving. Unfortunately, the bowl is in no condition of building at the moment. So what you want to do, so Chicago is overfilled. So when you're coming in here and you see a situation like this, there's nothing to be harmed here. This is a situation where it just has to be dealt with. And I knew that was going to be the case because I wanted to get that opened up for last night. We've been a little short the last few days. Somebody's been away for a few days, but he should be back soon, he was saying. So he gave us plenty of notice, so I figured this would be a good time, and I worked a little bit today and at work and got some things going. So when Nashville and this one here, now unfortunately there's locals mixed in with this, which is that's an issue that we got to deal with that I haven't dealt with yet. So many things I got to do. So I try to teach, I try to do live streams, I try to build other things, and yeah, it's fun. Let's just shut up and get work. Where is the north trim? He should be over here somewhere. There he is. So we have a north trim and a south trim. This is the north forwarding over here, south forwarding's over here. So if you look at this, you've got the north forwarding over here, the bowl, sorry, not the bowl, the receiving yard, and the south forwarding. The south forwarding, we got some work to do as well, but let's deal with the north for now and focus in on that. So you can auto start, auto MU, auto control, breakers, auto AB, and we let go of the handbrake. And when we're inside here, we want to take a look at this. You can turn the flashlight on if you need to see it. You want the panel lights at this type of night, gauge lights. You don't need the panel lights, I'm sorry. You need the gauge lights. The panel lights are okay. And then over up here, you want to make sure your step lights are on. It's not necessary, but it's good visibility. Platform lights, make sure they're on. For night operations, you don't need that in the day. And then, oops, I got a counter on for my engine. I did that on accidentally. And the horn's pretty weak on this one, but that was two beep beeps, and we'll move up ahead here. So we're going to grab Chicago. Actually, I'm sorry. No, we're not. Let's just hold on for a second. Yeah, we're going to do Chicago. So what we want to do, we know we're gonna do the Chicago bound train because that's the one that's overfilled. So we know we got to get that done. So we're going to build a Chicago train. And what you want to do here is make sure all the switches are lined up. And you're set down here. Eventually we'll have to deal with the other stuff beyond. But we'll go ahead and we'll take the brights off. It's bright enough right now. So I'm going to be here for about an hour and a half tonight. And I might make this a two-parter, who knows? It all depends on what's happening. Okay. Grab onto the ladder. Three horn beats to back up. Hey, Sean. Now, normally, if you could, if say the south side was accessible, you could do this. But the other, I started doing some stuff the other night where I was working on stuff while I bogged down the north side and to buy me some time, and then of course more trains came in. So it's always busy here. Usually it's under control. But I was also working on the sheet today, so. But it's fixed now, and I'll show you what I mean by that. So we have a sheet here that is this is like all kinds of different tabs. So this has been newly organized, and I'll show you what I mean as we're coming out. Once you pass that switch, we flick the counter. I don't know if we have to go that way. We probably don't. Yeah, because we're going to be working this side of the yard. Chicago's as far as it goes, and then... no, I shouldn't say that. Chicago is that side, and then we gotta... Did I get the wrong Chicago? Boy, I am not with it tonight. Okay, so we got a Chicago here, and we got another Chicago? Well, that's fine. We got to take that out of there anyways. I should have put it all together. It looks like we got way too much Chicago. I grabbed the wrong Chicago, but then because we got too much Chicago, then we're gonna have to wing it. This train's gonna be huge by the time we get done. I'm going way too fast. So I took it out of forwarding. I was looking, I was just like, wait a minute, is that in the yard? No, the Chicago that we were trying to grab was right there. I was already out of forwarding, so that was probably the last place the cars were placed. We gotta grab all this. Ooh, another nice moon again tonight. So when we're down here, there's a routing that takes us up to the main, and you can do that as long as nothing else is coming. Right now we don't run stuff up here, but for now it's okay, but eventually you won't be able to do that either. It's easier, but technically we shouldn't be doing it. We should be using the actual... I think we were doing it the other night when we had two guys running trim. But it's okay to run it tonight. I'm not as familiar with this side as far as what's on it, so... But it brings you out to the main line. Going too fast again. So you want to keep below 10 miles an hour. Hi, Josh. So what happened was I just took cars out of one of the forwardings, probably 10 I would imagine. But we will put it back in. I started grabbing it now, so that's okay. I'll show you what I mean shortly. Sell to a slot there. Shift 1 that was. Okay, so this is going to get us back into the yard. So I'll throw that switch. Alright. Alright, so I'll shift 1 again. I wish I could jump on and shift, but I can't. So I'm crossed over now into this lead. I don't need that. I actually got to go further. That lead's useless for us. I don't do the north side that often, as you can tell, because man. The north side, for when you're grabbing these Chicagos, you actually need to come out through here, which is actually shared with the south trim. You have to get on. You have to get onto that area. Now, what I might be able to do, since that's a long train, I could in theory create 2 trains. I'll show you what I mean. I'm starting this out really confusing. So we go over here to where Chicago comes out. It only goes on 1 train. Okay. So we just pulled it out. We just pulled the stuff that was out of the thing. We should have never touched it. I'm going to put it back in. I wish I hadn't have touched it. But actually, no. Forget I said that. Let's just take it easy for a second. We'll cross over. We're gonna cross over here. I'm gonna see if I can find. And I can't. That's why I don't like storing cars like that. I like building trains. Every time you get a chance to build a train, build it. Because when you store cars like that, all they do is they just sit there and they never get used. So I'll go ahead and I'm gonna build what I can. Let's see what's next here. So see now you got to go into Dan and a few of the other places. So I'll show you what I mean. To get the sheet to work, you want to go into stats. Doing it at night is probably the best time to do it. And this is where the sheets become very powerful. So, and they also work in a similar order. Now, like I said, recently these changed, so we'll keep these in the lower left-hand corner so that we can see what's going on. So basically what it does in the purple is when pulling tracks over 50% full, look for a train that serves that location. Well, we already have it. That's Q592. You gather the feed when you gather the feed in tons from all tracks and enter them in rows 5 through 6, which is what we were on here, feed in tons. In the bowl track, the train will calculate the potential length, tons, HPT, and number of engines required. So you do this. We're going to be working the north side. We know that. So this is a little ass backwards because what you're seeing here is what is this one? Ham? Okay, this is a slough track. This is stuff that doesn't have any. We don't know what the heck this is. I don't know what ham is, because we don't have anything that is ham. Don't know where that came from. I don't know. Birmingham? I really don't know. So what would happen in reality is we'd reassign it to something. It just doesn't work in that system. In the system like where the trains come and then we reassign it, just basically reassign a demand. I wish you could, because then we could have assign it to the empty pool and all that other stuff. RTS used to do that. For now, I'm gonna basically send it somewhere, which is basically down the delete hole. But normally I'd send it out a train. It's not a big deal, trust me. Let's start from the ones that are legitimate, because I don't know where that goes. And it's empty, and yeah, we can send it somewhere, but it shouldn't even be there. Okay, so we'll start with Savannah again. Back to train stats. So now we're starting on this side of the yard. Once again, we get to the bottom left-hand corner. And if we're lucky, we can get 2 and 1 here. I don't know if we can or not. No, we get the 1. So, and this stupid thing always Captain Obvious. This window is too slow. You should consider changing the size. Well, yeah, no kidding. So it starts with tons and feet. So tons, 338 and 507 feet. Over here, HSC. And you got to put these in before you can really start doing stuff. Unfortunately, this takes some time. What's going to happen is, at some point, I'm going to be able to utilize the AEI detection system. It is active. The problem is, it takes some programming to get it to work for the way we want to handle it. Once we get this in, then we'll have... like I got these names late. I just put those up there tonight, but or earlier this evening, I should say. But bear with me. So you see, they're going in order, right? So everything is in order, and they're going to those locations. So hopefully, we'll get one hump going at least by tonight. Or have somebody that comes on during the evening and takes over, because that would be really nice. We haven't had that for a while. FLS. See how it's going in order? It's going in order the other way, but... So it's going left. It's basically going as if you're facing this direction, right? There's the moon. Where was I? LSC before? I think I was. Ah, escape that. FLS. I just did FLS. Okay. RNC. Because what happens is, if the train's overnight, don't have a way out, then kind of sucks. I haven't tested that yet, so it could be a nice traffic issue by morning. I did CVA just now, didn't I? Yes. Okay, so I got to go to Augusta. I think it's Augusta, Georgia. I'm pretty sure, but I'll have to look at it. It's in the schedules, but these are the codes we were using. But I can take a look at the schedules and find out what those locations actually are. I think that's Greenville, South Carolina. Now, I made up a lot of those codes, so if there's real codes or whatever. I think HAM was supposed to be Hamlet, but I think I have it as HNC, so maybe I shouldn't have deleted it, but they shouldn't be coming up as HAM. Where they're coming from, I am not sure. UWR, I think, is Irwin. BNC. And I'm not worried about the actual, I mean, there's so many different codes for different things and blah, 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 blah. There's industry codes, and sometimes they conflict with location codes. We already have that in one of ours. Let me start moving this over here. And the north gets a lot more locations than the south, so it takes even longer to go through this. But it's worth it, because once you've done it, the problem is it's not kept up to date. I'm guilty of that, as is everybody else. But, you know, it is what it is. It's not a rule. I don't do it. I don't put that. Everybody, I appreciate anybody who takes the time to work the hump or work the trim or build trains. I don't expect the records to be up to date. It's more as a tool for calculations than anything else. That's why I want the AI system, so that then it will be easy to update. If it's easy to update, then it makes it more, you know, doable. But this is not easy to update, but it's very important. Anytime before you trim, you should be updating these. It helps you get a game plan instead of just basically taking cars and just throwing them. Like Chicago's. I don't know how long they were sitting there, but while things were filling up, we could have been building a train. And we can build a train, then we can get out of here. And that's the whole plan. Manchester, I gotta check this. I bet you I think there's an issue with this. Yeah, the locals have to be separated from this. Okay, so what we'll do, I'll go with stats for a second. Manchester definitely has an issue that we have to deal with. So there's like I said before, there's a Manchester, and then there's oops, I guess it would be over at this end. Atlanta would be the next one? I'm not too sure. Yep. So I'm not putting anything in there for Manchester just yet. I'm not too sure where, oh yeah, it comes into a lot of plays. Q550 is one of them, for example. I'm not getting a proper read on it because of that. Because they're mixed with local cars, and there's one way around it, and that is not to and that's something that's actually my fault. If I remember to do it, number one, if I remember to fix it or make it a priority to fix it, that thing won't happen because I have to change one of them. probably change, if I change the location, then I have to change all the tags. If I change the industry, then all I have to do is change the industry, but then they don't match the maps. And I like to keep with the depot maps to avoid confusion with others. I mean, it does, you know, it's not like my data is going to be better than depots or anything like that, because it's not. Especially when it comes to, I mean, maybe schedule data, yes, but as far as, because I've done a lot of research as far as 2007 goes, so that I'm confident with. But as far as industries, I'm not going to have any better data than what the depot has for their maps. So why would I change anything? Rewrite, you know, it's basically what's the term? Not rewriting history, or I don't know, something like that. There's a term I'm thinking. Hey, Bill. Oh, trying to. We got a full yard, a full hump, a full bowl. I'm short in a little bit of manpower right now. The usual guys was going to be busy for the next few days. Guy before him who used to do it, he's been busy for a long time working. So there was once upon a time where there was a lot of people that were looking to run Waycross. And now we actually have a shortage. We needed, it was kind of weird because we had a lot of people in Waycross, but we needed more people running locals. Now it's reverted. It's really interesting because I have guys waiting for certain locals, especially 457. 457's ready to be built, but I can't get to it. And I'm trying to, but my weeknights are not as free as my weekends. And oh yeah, that's the other thing I was supposed to do. I'm supposed to tell my son that my bio mother is up in Thunder Bay, which means she's not too far away. Try to do that at the end of the night if I remember. Okay, we're almost there. Yeah, actually, are we getting there? No, we're a ways away. I try. I got trains to do all kinds of things and blah blah blah. It never ends. Some of these trains I don't even have set up to do anything with yet. ETN 330 402 KTN 367 322 because I added all these new destinations, and it just, man, I haven't done this in a little while. I wish I could do it not on screen, but then, you know, my video would be like an hour, and then this part wouldn't make sense. This is so important that it has to be done, and I'll show you why, because in a few minutes you're gonna see why. Yeah, we only got a few more. We're coming up to that Chicago one, and I'll show you what I mean. $17.96, $10.22. Ah, crap. We're getting there. But what's nice about it, what's nice about it now is the recent change I made. It makes it doing the north side of the yard so much easier. South is easy to do this. It's very easy to do the south. Now it'll be easy for the people who want to do the north, because the north hasn't been as efficient, and this will help the efficiency. Because you just go along, you write down, or you type in the numbers. There's Selkirk, New York. That's another long train that goes out. Whoops. Okay, Chicago. All right. All right. So I got these all in here. That's in the bowl. Now, if I was to do just that, what you can see is the blue ones. Now the red ones I'm not getting data for. I've purposely left those out. The reason why I'm keeping those out for now is because they are not. They don't have routing data on them. They're new trains. The blue ones are what's important. So the one that goes to Chicago, as it stands right now, what's in the bowl is already at 10,000 feet, potentially. Doesn't mean it will be, but it's already up there. So what you see for that when you're looking at a Chicago now, sorry, that's not the Chicago train. That's another train. Let's look for that Chicago train. This is the Chicago train right there. That's at 11,000 feet. So what you can do in that situation is, if we were to build, we know we have a lot of Chicagos. So I would say in this situation, this is why it's called a matrix, because if you look at, you know these are going to be unique for these two trains. These have to go. It's probably going to be the same for these ones as well. See, this is why this should have been built, because there's a lot. Now, here's where Birmingham, Alabama. The closer you get, the more possibility you can get it on other trains. So if you get the Birmingham or the Nashville, Tennessee, for example, so we know Nashville, Tennessee. Birmingham, Alabama, you're starting to get into other ones. Manchester's screwed right up, so we can't even use that. Hey, Robert. Because that requires a lot more work, and I don't want to do that. So Birmingham, Alabama is one that we don't have to pull from. So that's 1,755 feet that we can take out right there. And that's it. It's the only one. Birmingham and this one right here, whatever's in that. So, hello. So we take those out. Everything's, fine. But we haven't even added what's in the rest of the thing. I'll show you what I mean. So we look down here. I'm going to go back to this guy for a second. The feet's probably a little bit less than that. I don't know how much it was. Let me pull the engines off so I can get an accurate read on this. No, I said reverse, you idiot. Okay. So we'll go ahead and these are closed up now. I'm going to open the coupler up. I'm going to separate this for a second. I'm going to get lucky to build one train and get the hump even set up to come in tonight. Okay. So now that this is separated, okay, we come back into here, and you can see, which is actually okay. This isn't a bad place to put it. So what you can do, we know what track this is based on the leads here. This is in track TO1. We can get away. We can get away with not utilizing TO1, although we do need it eventually. But let's do that. So what we're going to do is over in the Chicago side. Okay. We're gonna go ahead and do this again. There we go. This stupid thing's always comes up, annoys the hell out of me. So, in order to get a formula to work in Sheets, you have to do the equal sign. This is all data that you guys fill in. You put an equal sign in front of it, then you do plus tons 1857. Okay? And then on the feet side, you got 2,982. Hopefully we won't have to worry about this, but for now, we're still a ways away from the EDI information. This is the only way we've got to do this, unfortunately. Chicago alone is 6,560 feet. We can combine the Chicago. Okay. We can combine the Chicago information. I'll show you what I mean by this. So now what I'm looking at, oops, I had the data that I was looking at. Okay, so in order to do the ones that we definitely, that needs to go. Now, not all of them have to go. So let's work on that. Let's work on the stuff that should be pulled. Okay, so we're looking at the stuff that you know, okay, I'm not going to worry about the south side right now. I'm only going to concentrate on the north side. South side, like I said, about 50% full. So now I can go ahead and I can take this off. I can put back to destination stuff. Man's got to be dealt with. We will do that separately momentarily. It won't have to go. NAS is one of them. So you can start doing stuff that needs to be pulled. We know right now that's got to go. Okay. So NAS has to go. In the move column, you can put anything, but we're going to put Q592 for here. That's a different column. I was using it to move, like, there's capacities, there's all kinds of different things, but I'm going to say Q592 for now. Okay. And then I screwed up again when I did that because I moved it. As soon as you move out of it, I shouldn't do that. I should just click out of it. Okay, so that's Nashville. Nashville has to move. Manchester's a different story. Chicago, we already know about. We got to get those Chicagos out of there. Evans, is it Evansville, Indiana? I think that is another one that has to go. Not necessarily. We can live without it, but I think that's the two that have to go. So, of course, over on Chicago side, it's an automatic Q592. So this is from a Yardmaster point of view as far as what's going on. When I look at this now, I'm now seeing a reasonable train. Because this one doesn't have, these ones don't have to go. Evansville, Indiana is another one that we could potentially pull, but it starts really playing in, and we may have another Q592 before then. We have a lot here. We should have built a Q592 before this, but we have a lot to get out. So what I'm recommending we do in this case is we build a train that simulates what we're doing, if that makes sense. Or sorry, basically clears the yard the most so that we can get things rolling again. We don't want to build necessarily every train right now, but taking cars and just pulling them and do nothing with them, unfortunately, it doesn't work too well. It should be built. When you get those ones that should be built, that means a Q592. Like if Chicago overfills, you gotta build a Q592. That's the way it should work. So if I look over here, okay, I'm going to put a new category in here. It's going to be called work. Or build. I'm going to call it build, okay? So this is a work area. And what it does is it uses the following. So this is a HPT calculation that's going to go to here. So what you want to do is you want to total everything that is ready to go from Chicago and Nashville, because those are the ones that we are dealing with. So you could use them by formula, or you can just simply go the following. You can go equals 4,233 tons, which is coming from here, plus 2,965 tons, which is coming from there. You're getting a train that's only going to require 2 engines. There's a lot of empties on these for some stupid reason. So the Chicagos don't take much power. On the other side, you have got 6,560 feet plus 2,192 feet. We're at 8,752. We are going to combine all those Chicagos that we have, including the ones that were sitting in there. I'm going to throw it back into that yard. where it was, or basically one of those yard tracks. We're going to find an appropriate yard track that is going to allow 2 engines. An engine size, so if you want to know, it's a bad example. Give yourself about 100, 200 feet, let's say, just to be on the safe side. So you're going to be wanting to look at about 9,000 feet. So looking at the yard, where you have all this information, if you want a 9,000 footer, you're going to want to have the only one that's available right now, F09 will work great. So we're going to build this into F09 or F9. So the track that this is going to be located on is F9. Okay. And we're going to build that train. We're going to build Q592 right now. So this is, and once we've built it, then we can start getting the hump going again. Unfortunately, that means that all those figures that we just did go to hell. Although we can, we can keep trimming it. We can build more. We have more, so we might as well do that. If we had more time, unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to hump, but I think I'm going to focus on trimming tonight. It means the bull's not going to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give as much information as I can. I'm going to say, first thing in the morning, guys, start running humps down for the northbound. We're going to do the trims tonight. We're not going to focus on the humps. We're not going to multitask. We're going to deal with building trains. Okay? Should have called it building trains. You never know what happens when you do these things. So, all right. So we already agreed that this is going to go back into. Problem is, I'm in the wrong track. And now, what was it? Dan was the other one? Let me see if I can attach to it. Nashville. Nashville. It was Nashville that was the issue, right? Not Dan. Dan is the one that's right beside Chicago, so we don't have that. Track 25, Nashville. All right, let's take a look at Nashville for a second. Where does he come up? There it is. Okay, can we reach it? Ah, we can. Okay. This is good. So Nashville is going to be the first stop, which means it has to be on the north side. This is only going to be Nashville, Chicago. This train is going to go all the way. It's not going to have work anywhere else. It's going to go right to Nashville. Despite the fact that it can work at those other yards, it's going to do that. Here's how we will play it. We're going to make two cuts here. We're going to take all those cars back into here, we're going to get attached up. We're going to attach onto those Nashvilles. Now, normally, if the priority was to get the bull, which it still is, the problem is that we're so far behind, and unfortunately, we just haven't had enough people running. So this is why I'm doing this, because I've been doing a lot in this yard lately, and I want to make sure that people understand what it is we're doing. It's not their fault. And the other thing too is, I mean, we always I want to make very clear, okay? We're looking for the right people. We're looking for the right people who want to do certain things without causing issues. There was some person, we had a miscommunication the other day. I don't think he deliberately was trying to do anything. Excessive coupler angle. Something happened. Let me guess, a switch was against us or some horse shit, right? This is why I don't like going down here. Alright. We should be fine. Yeah, I see the excessive coupler. Obviously, I've done it. But the question is, where did I do it? That's fine. I don't know what the issue is here. Where did it come? Is there a crossover here? Oh, there it is. All right. So now to revolve that, now we go back forward. We start pulling everything. And hopefully that fixes it. Let me just put shift 1 here. Come on, baby. Here, let me go ahead and flick this switch for a second. No, it's because not paying attention. The other thing too is people leaving certain switches, so they'll have one restored and whatever, but that's my fault. Shit. Okay, so here's what we can do. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open this up. It's either that or I go back this way, but I just want to get that truck going. Problem is I got such a string now that I've kind of screwed myself up. There we go. Now it's going. It's trying. I'm really pushing the no, I'm okay. One more. This is the best we can do it. If it doesn't go now, then I'm gonna have to. Come on. If I can't do it this way, then I'm going to have to break it up. It doesn't look like I'm going to be able to do it. It's too big of a string. All right. See, I can't shove back because it's already on there. So, Jesus. Now, Otto didn't do this to me. lucky if I build one train tonight. This is ridiculous. Come on. Well, that's the problem. I don't know when that happened. It's fine. I thought before it was a lot easier to get these things out. Nah, I had the friggin' parking brake on. There it goes. We're fine. That's how you get out of that. Yeah, you always gotta check the crossovers here. Especially at night, when you're not familiar with an area. Okay, thankfully that wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. So now we're okay. Now we can go ahead and reassemble our cars. That's a familiarity thing. So I do the south a lot more than the north, and that's because it's the one that we used to have more stuff that was coming southbound than northbound, which is stupid. So we're trying to get more northbounds going, but the problem with that is we still have to add a few more trains as well. Alright, so we're fine out of that. All good. I was wondering why it wasn't moving. I was just like, this is strange. It's a good thing I didn't pull the damn thing apart. Okay. So I think I was going backwards, correct? I think that was the plan. Yeah. Alright. Okay, back to plan. Okay, we didn't lose too much time with that, thankfully. But every minute counts right now. Okay, so this is going back. Okay, everything else should be fine if all the other switches where the train is on. It's one way you know is when you start switching directions. If you're screwed up on a switch, that's the way to do it. But that was totally my fault. And that's the thing. Going back because I was talking about new members. I'm not worried about people who make mistakes because you've seen it. I don't know how many times I've made mistakes on a video. So whether there was a miscommunication the other day, which there was, and yeah, I was pissed because, you know, it was like notifying me while I'm on the stream. They should be just sending me chats like crazy to try to get my attention. And just, you know, I don't know. It was just totally way out of his element. I don't want people that are way out of their element. If they're just going to run trains or whatever, and that's all they care about, and they don't care if the trains are not that interesting or whatever, fine. But I need to know when people apply what it is they're looking for, and I need them to let me know publicly on the Discord. Not privately to my mailbox, which I'm going to be shutting off pretty soon. So I know people try to friend me and all that. I had some strange guy try to friend me tonight. I'm like, I don't even know who the hell you are. I got guys who are regulars here that aren't friends, that I don't have as listed as friends. Hell, even Quincy the other night, I just friended him. He actually requested it. I was like, Jesus, I don't even have you as a friend? Well, here we go. Quincy I've known for years, and I didn't even have him as a friend. Of course, I'm gonna be able to want to, you know, him to know when I'm on and all that other stuff, and whatever else he needs. But what I'll start doing is I'll start doing what happened the other night, where that person decided to leave my Discord because he thought I was all mad and all that other stuff. It was just a miscommunication. It's not a big deal. Whoa. There we go. Okay, so we're grabbing these Nashvilles, but I'm looking for the right people. So when that's where, you know, I don't want to make more headaches for myself or my the guys who are in mins here. I want to be able to simply get the right people in the right positions who want to do the certain right things. And if I don't have that information, then, you know, people who have requested, there's a few people that have requested access that I haven't given access to, and until I have more information. Because I don't mind teaching people either. I have no problems with teaching people, especially like what I'm doing right now. Obviously, I like teaching people, because this is the perfect way to teach people what I'm doing right now. This video is going to go up on onto the Waycross site, on the Waycross section of the Discord, and then I'm going to start writing. I'm going to start with Waycross, because this is the epicenter of everything that else goes on. These guys that need locals, they need them from Waycross. So even they might benefit from knowing how to handle this beast. Ooh, I better check my get in trouble here again. So that's what happens, is you're in the back and you go over a switch and you're not familiar where you are on the territory, and then boom. Especially when you're joining into something and you're like, okay, you know. But everything's running good now. So this is going to be the head end of this train. It's going to be over here, but we got those other Chicagos to deal with. So we're not done yet. What we're going to have to do is I got to get it back to where I can go into here, to that switch right there. Actually, I should have marked a spot. Okay, we're coming. We're almost out of it. So I'll back off on the throttle. I'll put a spot right here. Shift 1. I can even fly up, look at it. Take a look at here. Now I can control this. Don't think that's anything in front of me that I have to worry about. No, I think we're fine. Okay, so we go back here. Control 1. Just flies back just like that. Still looking the same way. Now I start running the dynamics. Give a little bit of minimum. Not too much though, because it's going to start braking like crazy. There we go. I might have done that perfectly. Oh, I gotta release the brakes now. You don't add throttle if you can. I'll take the dynamics off. Let it roll. Okay, now I'll give it a notch. You wait till that slack. You hear that slack, that kind of go king 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 king. There we go. There's that tug. That you got to be careful with. My son got into trouble twice this weekend. I would show him, but you know, I don't see him as much on the weeks, and that's the way it goes. Okay, so we decided which one we wanted to go into. We said that was going to go into F9. So we look over here, and we see the way the yard is picked up. So it's going to be this one. Might have been in this switch already. Might have been in 10. I don't know. Looks like it was in 10. So we're going into 9. We don't need to take the longest train if we don't need to. So yard selection is very important, especially the north side. The south side is important too, for a different way. The south side gets bogged down way too much. Okay. The good part here is now we can go into the tower and we can observe from there because there's nothing else that we have to worry about. We can count it. So we got 5,400 feet. So we're going to go ahead and back up. I'm going to count that down. There it goes. Whoops, notch 2. Not too much. In order to get to the Chicagos, I'm going to go forward here for a second and show you where we are. There, we're over there. We're onto that third leg. We're right here. So we want to get to well, we'll deal with that later. We should have been crossing the other way. I haven't taken a look at the layout too much. I don't think we should be on that track. It's good when you have two people, but you rarely have two people trimming at the same time. You usually have one person trimming, getting ready to do something, and then the other person humping, because you got humping going on. If the north's being trimmed, humps are going into the south. So it's 10:25. We're not going to get a hump done tonight. I may be able to get one quick one. I don't know. I doubt it. I'll take a look at in a bit here. I might be able to free one track. So we're watching this counter here. There's our lights back there. Actually, what I'll do is I'll keep the headlights on, and I'm going to start restoring switches. I'm going to throw this headlight on full so I can see behind me as well. We'll go here like that instead. Back to the tower. Going 9 miles an hour. In a minute we'll have to set the speed control. So there we see a good indication here of where we are. So we know we're in a track that's fine. So this is now we're crossing into that main line. I'm going to restore this to normal. I understand why it was used, but we can't get into the habit of doing that. But I understand why. I was there, so I had no problem with it. Plus, like I said, there's no procedures. There's a lot of procedures I want to add and get into, but it all takes time. You know, Rome wasn't built in a day type thing. Alright. So we're going to come across here. I'm going to try and get... I want to get something that switches over from this track to the left. And I don't think there is one. Oh, which really sucks. Wow. Is that how that works? That's crazy. Okay. I'm fine by that. If that's how it works, that's how it works, right? Okay, again, we're... Get the binoculars going. 10 miles an hour is our max. I can go with notch 2 and set the speed control. Come on, baby. There. Once I get the Chicago out of here, I may be able to hump one train tonight. So when you're in the yard, especially if you're just on by yourself, you do want to multitask when possible. For learning purposes, I'm trying to teach and not worry so much about multitasking tonight, or even as bad as it's going to be, because what's going to happen is mainline trains will randomly come this way. You usually get about 3 a day, and when they do, you know, it'll start getting ugly. Okay. So right around here... Okay, actually, you know something? How about right about here? Or do I want to do it that way? No. No, 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 no. I want to do it this way. I want to bring it into the beginning of the yard. There's a reason for that. I don't want to do any more shoving than necessary. So, what I'll do now is I'm going to go ahead and ride this down here, or I might be able to see it from the hump tower. Possibly. No. Well, if it was a hump tower, it's right here, so let's see if we can. I doubt it. Although we get to see it quite a ways away. Well, while that's doing that, let's like I said, multitask. So the next one we want to do is a northbound. We got some engines in here. We got this HSC CHS. This looks like a good candidate. I think he has an engine already attached to him. No, he doesn't. Okay. Here's a guy that's taking up a critical track. So what we can do, so we're looking for a candidate, and a candidate is basically one where, I mean, he's got an engine on him, so you can't use him. The best way to look is through here. HST's a good one. He's not a candidate, he's not a candidate. So far we have HSC. Baldwin, this one might be. So these two might be. candidates as well. Actually, that's a perfect candidate right there. Birmingham, yes. Easy candidate. Easy. So what track is that on? Actually, I think I have him on H20 now. We got to pay attention to what we're doing over here as well. We're okay so far. Where is my engine? Oh, there he is, right there. Okay. Can't do anything with him at the moment. But there is your that's that candidate right there. It's just a little short one here. Track number 4. Track number 9 to be exact. That is the candidate. I'm going to mark all these so I know we're going down there. That is going to be the next one we do. Once again, we go back down here. We want to see where he's coming. Okay, he's coming pretty quick. So this is something you also do. Just make sure you have plenty of track coming out the other side. We don't have to worry about putting engines on. We can leave that to the crews to get them tonight. The priorities here is clear the bowl and clear the receiving. When they're full like that, that is your priorities. I got 25 minutes. So you're going to have your amount of time as well. You're going to have to want to set those main priorities. The number one priority is receiving. You have to have a place for trains to receive, otherwise you start backing up your main lines. And with auto, it's not going to be. It's going to be fun, put it that way. Okay, so I'm using the dynamics. The other thing I could have done was kick the cars. That I wasn't thinking. That's another thing you can do. That was my fault. We'll kick them coming back. Make it nice and fun. Kicking is a very useful tool, especially if you have something like this to block them. And if they don't join, it's okay. Again, that's for the person to assemble in the yard. Okay. Now we write it back out. Oops, I screwed up there. That's okay. We can go up to 15 till we get to the end of the yard here. It's 10 at the switches. I forget the yard's lit up pretty good, but I always routinely go to that anyways because it's not lit. A lot of places aren't lit up well enough, especially when you're switching. So you put the headlights on first, and then if you notice you have enough light, minimize it, especially in the yards that are well lit. can't see around this bend. I forget how good this is here. That's okay. So I hope you guys are enjoying this, especially those who want to learn more with how to do the yard at Waycross on RTS, on the RTS server. And everything's going to be changing. It's just like real life. You have one system, you learn a system, and all of a sudden, you know, down the road, it's going to change. These things are going to happen, you know, could happen within weeks, months. You never know. It may take a year. I doubt it's going to take that long. Okay, so now we're in a situation where we're going to come up to a minimum of 10 miles an hour. So we're back to 10.1 there. We're under moonlight, so that's always good as well. I'll minimize that light behind me as well, because that was full coming into that dark area over there. Over here, we're going to get into a situation where we want to see. Again, our goal is to get this, because once we got that, then we can finish. We can let go of the trim temporarily, and we can start dealing with. Let's set up our switches while he's coming through. So we plan ahead. Okay, so this is the switch we're looking at here. Problem is, we're going to be coming out of 4. Or 1, or whatever the hell it's called. Yeah, see, we're coming down here. So we need that. There's going to be a lot of zigzagging and all kinds of other crap in this north yard, I notice. Some tracks you can get to it, others it's a pain in the ass, but there's a lot going to the north, so that's the way it is. That moving that trim by the that hump engine, by the way, alone will give us room. We actually have more tracks available than we think. I think. I don't think we'll have time to build a second train, unfortunately. So all that work we did early on, we'll go ahead and put that on. Alright, so now we're going to grab the Chicagos. Now you can only control one train at a time. So there's a few ways to do this, actually, that work very well. And I'll show you. This is another method if you want to multitask here. I haven't done it that often, but since we're a little short on time and we want to get things going, you can only run. This is good when you have 2 people, because when you have 2 people, then you get one guy who's working trim side, you got one guy that's working the hump side. Works really well. We've had that happen a few times on the server. You don't get trim very often. We did that on the weekend too. Okay, I didn't flick that switch for some reason. Okay, so I'll minimize that. I don't need that. Do you ever talk a lot about other videos that are going on, or you just do wish lists? Or talk about your big ass strengths? I just, I don't know. Anyways. It's like I'm talking about a wholly different thing, and it's just like, yeah, if we had the actual operating colon loader at Seminole Electric, I'm like, yeah, okay. Sure. I guess if somebody else is chatting with you there, that's why I don't know what to say to that. Q230 Callahan sub northbound. Okay. Get the brakes. Get the brakes. All right. Alright, so here's what we do. I got the brakes on. I go down here. And I hit AI. It is going to run me all the way down to track 1. Now, I don't know how far I have in this lead. Now, I already threw this switch normal. I can't go further than that. I can't go further than the throat. Once I do that, then I get into troubles. So I'm looking. I'll give myself this switch, but I want to be able to stop this trim. I don't want it to run all the way down to that signal. So although this is supposed to be line for me, I'm going to line it against me. Right now I am not active of anything because I brought this into trim. So I set this to relinquish. It's got an EOT on the back. Now you go fly on to the other end. Meanwhile, he's clearing that hump for you because that's important. We go back into here. And we see this guy here, hump UI. We want to start him up. Okay. By starting him up and keeping him active, you now know which track he's in. We want that normal. Reverse out to A2, that's fine. This is the track we're going to bring him in as 9. So all we want to do is get him past... Ah, crap. We got to get him past that switch. So I'm in that little section past here. So this is the switch I got to deal with. So not the first, not the second, but the third reverse. Here we go. Check my lights, make sure everything else is the cab light can stay on. Switch over to that. Meanwhile, my trim is working for me. So right now I'm the only one working this yard. I'm the only one on right now. Everything's fine. This works. These are tools that are going to work for you for single player as well. Receiving tracks are at a premium. He just took up one of them. See how R5 is now available? If a train comes in overnight, he's got that track. Meanwhile, You've just built. You're in the process of building a train that has taken two of your biggest culprits, two of your most overstacked. You prioritize the overly abundant tracks and build trains to them. They don't have to be every location, but you want to get them, in a situation like that. Okay, so we wanted to say, the other way to look on here too is to know when your crossing is here. Once that goes gray, there it is. So it's this one. So you're coming across it right now. So I can go like that. I think that will work. I don't think it will actually because I'm not the operator. It's flashing here. That's because I just went on it. So now I'm just waiting for it to run its time. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit the brakes. There. It didn't do it. Dispatcher, if I had dispatcher control, which I can take. If you're working the yard and you don't want people running into your yard, you can turn auto DS off here. As long as you turn it back on. Now, I've disabled it for client, although this may still be working for some stupid reason. I don't know why. The issue that we had the other day was that somebody was able to turn the dispatcher off and he never put it back on again. I would prefer to keep it on myself and just deal with the manual controls. It makes it a lot easier. It's basically back the same time. So this is now normal, okay? We're okay. Now we're coming all the way down to here. All of these are normal. We're set to come into R9. And I'm still running. Lucky I didn't... Okay, this thing's on right now. That was because he was AI'd earlier. So go ahead and close the angle clock. Say hi to the cows. I think that's a Jason joke. Or it's a John joke, I don't know, or a John and Jason joke. I'm not sure. But to be serious though, I'll go ahead and I'll say that an actual operating coal unloader would be good. Okay, I do agree. It's just kind of weird. I find all your text messages are never about what's going on the live stream. It's about what, stuff you're doing, and it's like you're trying to entertain everybody else. I'm like, I know you have a YouTube channel. So, let's see here. But yeah, having an unloader would be great. But that's another topic for another day. Anyways, back to this. I just thought I'd address that part anyways, because you'd make a valid point. That would be nice. But this is all about the tutorial. You should stop coming here? That's up to you. If you don't want to learn anything about RTS, that's up to you, man. It's your choice. That's what the guy said the other day who got in a communication issue with me. He said, I'm going to leave. I'm like, I didn't ask him to leave. Hey, Terry, how's it going? I was just making a comment, observation. No big deal. Nothing personal. what do you miss so far? This is all about running. I'm only going to be here for 8 more minutes, so weeknights I'm done at 11 Eastern. I got to work the next day, but this is all about Waycross. So if you missed anything and you want to learn a lot about how to run Waycross with RTS, check the beginning of the video, or check my channel. Of course, everything gets posted up there as well. So, but we're just in the process of getting one train built and one train started humping. Fortunately, we're not going to be able to build any more trains. So, we know right now, based on what's happening, we know, I gotta watch myself there. Actually, he's a long one, so we know that this is being sent over to F9. We know it. We know it's only going to be 2 engines because this is the ones we're using. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take out the ones that we were using here. So Q is being moved to Q592. We go ahead and we delete that. He's on Q592. Over here, Memphis, Tennessee, we go ahead and delete that. He's on Q592. Now what this does, and this is what I was hoping to get into, but it just didn't, it just didn't happen. Okay. This is the problem, it's all run right into him. He's a long ways away though. Okay, here. So now what happens is you look through the list and you see other candidates. Like you see this. There's a Q410 can easily have, he's not an F9, I know that, so he's probably gone. I think we ran a Q410 the other day. But there's other ones. Not so much this guy. This one's okay. Now, a lot of them are going to be on these ones. But anyways, you start at that point, you're able to decide what parts of the yard are good at recipients. A lot of them are going to be other trains. On the southern side, if you're doing this for the southern side, this is the ones that are all in the yellows. Those we have all the trains for. So those will work well. I'm going to go a little past 11 o'clock. Not too much past. I don't like to get in the habit of doing that, so we'll go a little bit further. Just to where we accomplish enough for this evening, and then we'll call it from there. But this sheet is basically your information, and you got that temporary little calculator down below. So this down here is your build. Your build. This is the one we're building for Q whatever the hell it is. The Chicago train. We'll get it. But what we're doing here now is we got an AI train that's heading out the other side. Should have our bowl cleared by the time we get to this. We also have the other hump units that are sitting in the way. The good news is once a hump is done, he's not in the way of nothing. You should always make sure, though, make sure you have enough room. This came in off of local, so I know we're going to have enough room because we just got our 3 biggest culprits, and it's a small train. Small locals that take up a receiving track are precious space. By the time when we first started out, just a few minutes ago, before we started moving these hump engines around, we had a completely full receiving yard. Within the next 5 to 10 minutes, maybe 15, we will have 2 receiving yard tracks free. Just like that. And it all started by building a train. You build a train first. You have to build a train first out of the trim. If you take a trim just to store, I mean, there's some situations where storing is required, but the biggest thing you really want to do is if you got a Chicago with you, you know it's going to Chicago, build a Chicago train. Build a Chicago train. Get something that's a worthy train, like 8,000 footer or whatever. Find some locations that work a train that goes to bound to Chicago. So if he works, X locations here, here, and here, you want that. So the ones that go to Chicago again, there's only one train that does it. There's one that goes to Selkirk as well, but we'll get to that. So yeah, Chicago. You get the DANs, the EV, AKY. There's still another one that's 5,981 feet. That could go to Dan. But then you start humping, you might be able to get some more Chicagos out of some of these, and then in no time you'll have another one. So trimming is all about building trains. Yes, it's about clearing the bowl. Absolutely. It's about both. You want to clear the bowl, but you also want to build trains. Because then, if they're sitting around in tracks, they're doing no good. They only have to sit down and sit in tracks if they really don't have a train for it to go on. And in some cases, we're going to get in situations where we get into that this issue. So I got to get these new trains online. Hopefully this week. I want to make that a priority. Waycross is going to be a priority for me this week. So if you're going to be tuning in, you're going to be seeing probably a lot of that. I don't know if I'll be on tomorrow yet. But I will be doing stuff in the background for it. Okay. Alright, so now we're all set up. Now I'm going to check the switches leading to the hump to make sure we have plenty of access. I'm going to also check the hump to make sure everything is good to go. And I believe there must be an engine around somewhere. I think he's in one of the mains, so that's fine. He's probably hiding in one of the mains, I think. Yeah, he's not here. Hopefully he didn't go down a main line somewhere, because if he is, he's gone. But there's plenty of other switchers we can always use, so not a big deal. We'll just say it's a light power move. Okay, so we now have a path to the hump. We can't set it to go just yet. Remember those Chicagos that were going out? We want to make sure they are indeed out of the way. Close, no cigar. So now what we do is we take control of this train. Actually, no. Belay that. It's going to take a while for those Chicagos to come in. We may not even have Chicagos in this train. If we don't, we got time on our hands. So we're looking for that. We're looking for this. What's this one? Okay, that's another good one. That's another good gem. If we could, but we'd have to move the power. So little guys are gems. Hosling's always important. Okay, so that's another train that's coming in behind him, so that wouldn't matter. Where is my damn train? It's a little guy, I know that. I think it's over here somewhere. Okay, there he is. I think that's him. Yeah. Okay. So we go ahead. We name him to Hump. We'll go ahead and name all AI him. He's gonna find the hump controller. We're going to take a look and see what he's got on him. Augusta, Cincinnati, Savannah. There's some Chicagos. Okay, we have to move them. But the good news is, it's going to take him a few minutes to get there. We can go ahead and we can take this guy out. We want to get him past this part here. So now we take control. Remember, he stopped here. Now we go ahead and we flick this switch here. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to take our trim. We're going to put the lights bright here. We're going to go light brights behind us. I don't know why the... oh yeah, that's because of the AI. So what happens when it's AI is it just does weird stuff with everything. Short hood trail. There, see, now it makes it nice and bright behind us. I want to make sure I've got the cars, because he's probably got a EOT on the back. Yep. This is an AI thing. They like putting the EOT because it's an AI. So we're going to go ahead, close it, remove, and because if they run into the EOT and it's an air job, then yeah, it doesn't work too well. Alright. So now I go to the tower. Remember, I have a hump that is starting, and I have this guy that is going. We want to get him onto the far track, because that's the only way we're going to get to the forwarding yard, is to get him onto this track over here. What is that down there? Oh, okay, that's him running. So see, he's out there moving. That's a light there, okay. I wonder what the hell that was. I don't know why he's going. There he goes. Okay. I had the parking brake on. The AIs do that. I want to check something real quick. So this is once again, this is an AI thing. Want to close the angle cock? That's not good. You should be fine. That was all the air that just went out of him. I was worried for a second. Interesting. Well, I bled all the air, so it should be fine, but yeah, whatever. Where's my... Okay, I gotta get into the tower here. So he's on his merry way. The hump is not has not started humping yet. We'll take a quick look from the hump tower, see what's going on. He's coming up. You can see him. Okay, so he's about ready to go. And we've already cleared the hump, so he's clear to go. So if there was an issue, we could have disabled the hump. That would stop that train. Okay. I'm gonna start doing my dynamics here. Now what I like to do is if I flick one switch, I like to flick the other. That's just a rule I have with crossovers. Alright, I'm going to put some minimum. Oh, Got to be on the ground. Yes. So I take the air all out when I'm playing around in the yards because you don't need it. You're not going to go be that fast. You don't need air. One place you need air is in the departure or the forwarding area. Like once you're actually tying on the power, you want to get the air. There's our first hump. I don't know if the client side sees that or not. That could be just a server side seeing that, but it definitely shows on the server side. I don't know what shows on the client side, to be quite honest. Oh, okay, Terry, I'm sorry. Mr. Trains that go to Chicago and New Orleans, where do they go? Like, they go through a portal because I know they aren't on the route. Ah, okay. So, the only thing that we have is we have what's in here on the western side. So the Chicago would go down to the Fitzgerald sub. Fitzgerald sub is coming out soon. So what happens is he gets over to once he reaches this point, the train just deletes itself. What we're doing is we're doing something prototypical, and that is we're sorting the trains out by location, and then we're building appropriate trains to leave. If the Fitzgerald sub was out, then we would have an appropriate train running. We do the same thing. There's trains that go to the S line. I hope that switches. No, it's not. Oh, I think that's okay. I think that goes up to the main, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that's good. Okay. So yeah, that's what that does. So there's no portal. You can't join to another route that way. These routes are all joined. So we are joined as far south as Orlando. So we're going pretty good. Actually, we're going way too fast. I gotta get the speed control on. If you go too fast, it will actually derail. Sometimes they just derail anyways, but... Okay, so I'm following this line. I'll get to the next comment in a second. I just want to focus on this for a second. Come on. Oh, you're not letting me do it? Jesus, Murphy, come on. There we go. Good enough. Alright. Now that I have that going down... Oh! There we go. Now I can put the notch back up. So I got that window open, and I'll show you why in a second here. Actually, I should be watching what I'm doing, but anyways. This is a learning curve for me just starting to get into this. I'm looking at the Selkirk yard for my start soon. Oh, that's cool. That's a good place to start. Selkirk is great. Selkirk, you don't have to worry about all the meets as much either. Am I going down the wrong track? No, I think I'm fine. I think that's 9. Oh yeah, there's the cars are right there. Now the question is... Hey, Switcher. Hey, have you ever wanted to learn about Switcher? Have you ever wanted to learn how to handle Waycross? By the way, there's still a train here for you. I just haven't got to it. This yard is backed up big time. We're a little short this week, so. But if you ever wanted to learn about Waycross, if you're ever looking for an extra job to do while you're waiting, this is the video for you tonight. We might be joining in. I don't know if I'm going to have the ability to kick. No, I'm not. We're going to be joining in. So, had he been a little bit further, or had this been open, I could kick, but I'm not going to kick. I'm going to join. Because I'm getting it to the point where it's getting too close. So I might as well join it. Had he been further away, I could kick it and save myself the time. 11:12 p.m. Hump still going. If I look over at the hump bowl, now you see, now he's beyond the hump. He's almost at the top. We now have, we went from, like I said, we were going to go from completely full receiving yard. Now we have two available tracks. I'm not going to do any more humps tonight. In fact, you know, it's 11:15. Once I join this up, I'll see if I... But I'll do some more videos. I'll do some follow-up videos of this week. Because I suspect there's going to be a lot of work to do. You can see in this track here where there's an EOT on this one. This train is a departing train for... it's got Augusta, Georgia on the tail end. Now I'm not too sure if that's its... it should be Augusta, should be on the head end, unless it's all for Augusta, but basically you want the set-offs on the head end. So the set-offs go closer to the engine. Not always. There's Q457, for example, the one that I want to get for switcher. Actually, I like to put the majority of the bulk of it, or half of it at least, is Pecan Yard. The other half is Jacksonville. So I like to put the Jacksonvilles on the north end. Oh boy, here we go. I let go. Oops, I didn't do it in time. I hit the wrong button. So we're 9,000 feet. Remember I said we're going to be something along that. I think it was 9,000 I said. Well, that's because we got the engines. Sorry. Okay, so I go ahead, hit Control F7 again to bleed all the air. Make sure it's all bled, and then down here, now we can deal with this whole kick thing. Now we can't kick too far, but we got a little bit of room. Actually, we probably don't have enough room, to be quite honest, so I'm not going to kick. All done humping, so our hump is done. All he does is sit there. He won't do anything. He's not a you know, an issue. Like I said before, crossovers, I like to keep both ends set so we know what's going on. Oh, I got that does that sometimes. Oh, there's Quincy. I was going to ask if you were around. I'm not going to be around for a while. You may want to watch this video later on, Quincy. It might be interesting. For certain reasons. If you're not too sure what those reasons are, I'll let you know tomorrow. Selkirk region. Terry, another thing you can do is if you have a train that is tagged, say, to Selkirk, and you're in Waycross, you can save the train before it leaves the Waycross region in the TEMU and respawn it in the Selkirk region. Yep, that's another thing you can do too. So we do have trains that go to Selkirk. Oh, you're heading to Waycross. Nice. Would you finally get a call? Yeah, see how much we only had so much room, so kicking it would be useless. Okay, so good. I'm glad, Terry. That's my goal. I mean, my goal is to try to help. My goal is certainly to try to help my community, but I like to help the overall Run8 community as well. And I know, I know there's sometimes there's miscommunications and people take things personal, and hey, trust me, I know how I know how people feel. I feel the same way sometimes. I've been there where I take things the wrong way or I take it personal. I turned 50 years old today. Life's too short for that shit. I don't take things personally, and I never say never. I may have my ideas about something, and then something comes along, and then I realize, oh hey, communication. I'll tell you right now, and this goes to what I saw a little bit earlier on the chat about leaving or something. We had somebody who said he was going to leave the server, and he left the server. I didn't get a chance to talk to him. And to be quite honest, I was kind of snapped. I was having a tough day. These things happen. But I never wanted the guy to leave. Likewise, anybody in the chat here, I've never said I don't want anybody not to come around my YouTube and enjoy themselves, as long as they're enjoying. I made a comment, just like, it's just like, because the comment was made because the person, and I don't know if he's still there or not, or if he's left and he's running his big huge train somewhere and whatever, but the comment was made because he showed he was interested in joining our server. So if you're interested in joining our server and I'm trying to teach something and you start talking about something else, which was a valid point, and I ended up answering it, but I was too busy trying to teach others, including my own people who are maybe not live tonight, but who I'm going to post this video so that people who work Waycross here know how to best use it, or at least, and there's no right way, but it's basically to use the system that we have in place. So anyways, that's all I'm going to say about that. But I'm 50, I turned 50 today. So life's too short for that bullshit. I try not to take things personally. It's my weakness. It got me into more trouble when I was younger. As you get older, you take things less personally, I find. It has a lot to do with maturity and insecurity. So we've all been there. You're still there? That's good. Well, hopefully you're not too bummed out. But as I say, oh, thanks, Bill. As I would say to you, you've shown interest in the server. I'm not sure, because I'm not too sure what you're into or what you're interested in doing. You have to post over on the Discord what you're interested in doing, so that others, like Quincy's here right now. Quincy will help you out. He'll see what you're into and everything else. And you watch my videos, so I assume you're interested in what I'm doing, or else you wouldn't be here, right? I think it. So there's nothing personal. If I didn't want you here, I'd kick you or do some bullshit. I'm not gonna do that. I have no reason. You didn't do anything to be kicked for. You made a few comments, that's all. I was just making an observation. Okay, so enough of that shit. Where were we? We were in 9, right? What the hell am I doing with that one? That's 8. Okay. This is 9. So track 9 here. I just want to take one last look. It's 11:22. train stats. Of course, it's going to be at this end. So now what I'm doing is I'm just checking my stats to see if they're in line with what I had with the other. Sometimes they show up in the middle of the train too. So you've got a Chicago here. $7,198 tons, 87. This is a very easy train. That's why it only takes 2 units. So as we were saying before, this was going to take 2 units. It was mostly empties just because of the way Run8 does goofy things. Here it is right here. Yeah. So he's got it at 8753, so it's a rounding difference. At 1.22 HPT, this will head to the Fitzgerald sub. This was train. It's going to Chicago. So we go ahead and we take a look down here. And yeah, Q592 is the train. Q592. So what I then do is I go ahead and I open up the Discord. And Shaq said, "Hey, hey back," but somebody else can hey him back. So, but let's see here. So we go into Waycross. So Dan's been working. So Dan would be a great person to. So I had a live stream tonight. Now I'm just posting this. That goes over everything in operating Waycross. Please check it out. It's 2.5 hours long and hopefully beneficial. What train did I see? I haven't finished typing that message yet. So Q592. So back on Discord. Q592 is available on is ready for 2 mainline units on north forwarding track 9. All figures for other northbounds. No. Prioritize building more trains after checking out that video. Make sure there is enough receiving tracks. Currently we have 2 available. Oops. Okay. And that's how you communicate on Discord, just like that. I'll go through the chat real cool because I saw things were going. So yes, Switcher, if you're interested in that stuff, this hopefully will help. But if you're not, I know you're happy with that. Thanks, guys. Thanks for the birthdays. Hey, Blake. I love locals and short lines if y'all have them. Yep. Switcher will tell you that. Yeah, he's probably answering that. That's cool to know, Switcher. I never thought about it before. What was that? Oh, that you can serve. These are done by locals, which generates for mainline trains. The industries can be changed to whatever you like. Yeah, you can run it however you want it. If you want to run it Proto-lance, freelance. You can do a lot of things with this. Each industry will also create demand for more trackage to enter the system to mainline trains. Happy birthday, thank you, Robert. Wish you can set up any way. Wish you can set up any way you like. Oh, which? Yeah. Anyway, Sean, I can do nothing with the Waycross side if I don't have the route. It's pointless just running from Orlando to Folkestone. Not necessarily. I'll tell you why. I understand you don't have the Waycross route yet, and you're probably not getting it because there's other things, which is totally cool. Not necessarily. This is probably useless to you, but I hope you enjoy it anyways. And if you ever get a chance to purchase Waycross or Fitzgerald sub, which is coming out, this may be something for you. It may not be for you as well. As far as the server goes, and like I said, you said you've had interest in the server. Number one, you can run mainline trains. But keep in mind that the mainline trains that we run are what you see coming out of Waycross. They do run into Jacksonville. So had I built 457, I know, Switcher, you're waiting for 457. 457's ready to be attached. It's all ready to go. You just have to attach 2 strings and go at it. They're here. I think they take 5 units, so it will require 5 mainline units. I think there was a post earlier on about it, Switcher. So if you want to get more stuff for Jacksonville, it's available in this yard. It's actually in, I think, 11 and 14 is the 2 cuts. I would put, say, 3 units on the one end and 2 on the other, and that will give you like a 3-2 power to, it's about 10,000 feet for Jacksonville. You can also AI those trains. The one little procedure I did was about with reversing switches and whatever. Anyways, I wanted to get back to CREX. I wanted to get back to your comment there. If you like running locals or switching, stuff that Switcher does, there's only 2 locals right now that run out of here. I do them. I'm the one that usually does them. We run a little small switcher that heads up to Folkestone. It does very little. In fact, one of them was that one where do we see it here? Let me relinquish my train before I forget. You guys should always do this too before you're going offline. You go train and relinquish the train, because you could lose the train. You take it with you. It's really weird. There's a bug sometimes that happens. It hasn't happened yet, but you never know. Let me take a look down. Oh, I'm looking down the wrong way. So there's 2 trains that for very small trains. No, that's not it. It'll be over here. The one that we humped, and this guy. So this guy is 768, which is so he's got all this. This is the one that came back from what's that stupid ass wood? It's just around Jessup, the Rainer or whatever the hell it is. So this is the Rainer local with all the industries between here and Rainer, going through Jessup. So this runs the Jessup sub north through to Jessup onto the whatchamacallit sub. But anyways, my brain's not working at. Oh, sweet. You got a trip to say, hey, I've been there. I've had to sail up for shit too. I know what it's like. It's not easy. That's what it is. So Switcher, if you'd like to operate grain trains, I'm a big grain train fan. Could I do that? Yes. Yes, you can. As far as number one, operating grain trains, like running the grain trains, yes. There is in fact, if you're interested in grain, a good route is Cajon Sub. Cajon Sub has a lot of grain industries that take in grain. So there, and then there's even a switcher. I can't remember. There's an actual switcher you can purchase. The hell is that damn switcher's name? Not switcher, but anyways, that's there. There is a spawn system that you can set up to filter these types of trains and destinations. I used to do a hump for Selkirk in the old WRMT days. I've ran that before with no problems. Yeah. So anyways, going back to, I just want to make sure. Carson Trains, Jessup sub switcher. Yeah, that's the one that it was. That's a Jessup sub switcher, I guess you call it, Rainer. But what I was saying before with you with CRX is there's either two things that will benefit you potentially. Either you want to run mainline trains, which there are mainline trains that run out of Jacksonville to Taft, intermodal trains. The coal trains are already in progress, but you can take control of any coal train that comes through approaching to Folkestone. So if one's approaching Folkestone and you want to take control of that coal train, by all means you can. We do have an option that you can use the unloader. You had a comment earlier about the unloader. Now I'll address it because now I'm promoting the server, not so much this, or Run8 in general, or not promoting Waycross. I mean, anyways, you can actually run the train into there. Usually we have it destroy itself, and then another train will spawn when it's ready, and that's all you have to do. So if you want to run it. Now, these trains right now are currently set for a minimum of 1.2 HPT. So you're going to get the trains that automatically generate as peons. Sometimes they have 5 units on the front end of them. 5 units is a pain in the ass because you can easily break apart the train. So it's challenging. But you can run, we have run 5 units. Actually, my son did it. So he's broken a lot of trains, including mine twice. But Q455 over the weekend, he broke that twice. But, you know, he's new, so. Cool, yeah, I'm a big grain train fan because, well, maybe before I get to that, the other thing is if you like switching industries, with the exception of these 2 industries that come out of Waycross, all the industries, whether it's Jacksonville, Taft, Florida, tons of industries down there, Rands, Florida. We also have rock trains that are coming into play soon for Conrad Yelvingston. There are unit rock trains that I haven't added in just yet. They're coming. I have cars that go to Vulcan. I believe they take a unit train. Don't have those set up yet. So I'm still building up on the repertoire. I got some really good information from Jason the other night about a former coal power plant that's right here in the Niagara Peninsula, and I'm glad he shared that information because that was basically about how that coal power plant and many others work. Generally, they take 1 train a day, but they can take upwards of 4 in peak conditions or peak season. So we have too many coal trains running. Although we have plenty of symbols, the symbols are great, but we have to get the frequency of those coal trains down. I have to add the intermodal trains back into Jacksonville. There's an intermodal train that runs from Jacksonville to Taft. It takes a long time to run from Jacksonville to Taft. Intermodal trains are very easy to handle. They're not that big. The biggest trains we have on our system right now are Q4 to 55, 456, 457, 458. They're routinely 10,000 feet. They have DPUs. They're not supposed to be that way. I have no choice right now. That's just what the system throws at me, and it is what it is. I could save back to Waycross and Fitz2 though. I could save back to Waycross. Yeah, you can save that if you want to do that. It all depends on what you're interested in doing, but like I said, post your interests. I want, and like I said, it's we don't run trains that are going to stall. We don't run trains that are going to not make it or be challenging or tests or anything like that. We don't do any testing. Put it that way, of trying to see, how much we can get out of the trains or whatever. You want to do that stuff, you can do that in single player. That's fine, but we know what the minimum HBTs. I think actually. Speaking of testing, Dale was doing a lot of testing. I think he had a train the other night. He said he could do 0.6 HPT. So he had, and it was challenging for him. He's a real railroad engineer as well. Dale is. So I was chatting with him about different things. By the way, without really, I wasn't told anything special, but he's on non-competes. Whatever the hell that stupid sign thing is, where you don't divulge any information or trade secrets or blah 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 or anything like that. Well, I'm privy to one, so is he. So he knows certain information and stuff that's coming. Yeah, I won't repeat. I will just basically say there's a lot coming. So I'll leave it at that. And you can use your imagination as to what that could be. I can't say anything more than that. So yes, I do know a little bit of inside information. I'm not given that information. I want to stay, I want to keep those guys' conversations intact. And hopefully they can share more information with me, because I always like to help. If, our relationship ever repairs, I think it's mutual respect, but try not to go down the same path. We've done like 2 times this before, where basically I've said something that's ticked them off, and then all of a sudden I'm no longer on the team. And besides, I don't want to be on the team. I just want to help them out. Whatever I can do to help Run8, that's fine by me, but I also want to help out RTS. So anyways, it's 11:41. I'm just yapping away. Non-disclosure, yes, non-disclosure agreements. I swear, I'm losing my mind. I'm 50 years old, and I already have brain damage, so I can affect. I got a funny feeling that that's going to. It's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. I fear my mind is getting weaker as I get older. But that may be an old man thing too. So, anyways, yeah, non-disclosure agreement. I already have memory issues as it is, so that's perfect example right there. So yeah, that's it for tonight. I gotta let that go. I don't know if I'll be back tomorrow. If I am, I'm gonna probably be doing Waycross. I'm gonna be doing that for a little bit, just to try to mend the gaps and whatever. So, lots of building, lots of trains that need to be brought out. Q457 switcher is available It needs 5 units. It's in 11 and 14. I'll go fly by over there just to show you if you're not sure. Or what it looks like here. Is that it right there? No, where the hell am I? Am I on the wrong side? No, I'm on the wrong side. Okay. There we go. So, yeah, so you got one set for pecan, 11, and then one set for the other. There's about 10,000 feet. You'll need to find 5 units somewhere in here. Attach 3 to one end, attach 2 to the other, join them up, and oh, no, that's a different train. Okay, so that's there's a train Q609 ready to go. I don't know what the other one is. There was something else in one of the other tracks I thought I saw. Oh, it's just some cars. I don't know what the hell they are. They're just cars. There's the trim jobs right there. And as I was saying before, the hump comes in, and then so anybody that's running Waycross, we got 2 tracks. This should hold overnight, but tomorrow we're going to need work done. So I'm hoping to get on tomorrow as much as possible. We'll see if Emmett's interested in running that tomorrow or not. If he's not, then well, I'll try to get him to get it. Damn, it's 11:43. I gotta go to bed. That sucks. I'm gonna be tired tomorrow again. Actually, I wasn't tired today, so who am I kidding? I've been wired. Where should I post that, Sean? What my interests at on Discord? Just post it in the RTS General sections. RTS General and also you know, that there, and then whatever your interests are for the Jacksonville side, just let people know, and that's something you know that we can use more into considering. You know, you seem to be watching YouTube quite a bit, so is Canada even Eastern Standard Time? Yep, I'm Eastern Standard Time. I'm the same time as these guys, so the moon is in the same position in my sky right now as it is. We're on the eastern. I'm in the same one as Toronto. Toronto's Eastern Daylight Time. Sorry. So yeah, we're all on EDT right now. So okay, that's it for now, guys. I will be back on hopefully by tomorrow. Brain damage. What the hell? Did I miss something? Yeah. Oh, thank you. I didn't leave it. It's late, Sean, for you. Yeah, it's okay. I'm having fun. I don't give a shit. Where should I post that? Yeah, okay, got it. Okay, if I get a chance, we'll set it up and run it. Cool. And you can run it AI too, by the way. So if you wanna do other things and you wanna just set it up and then run it AI, just make sure the one switch on the C yard, the one set with the yellow flag, make sure that is set to yellow, and then make that normal. So you have to normal that switch on the north side, and on the south side of that yard you have to keep that reverse, like the sign calls for. That way, and I think that track should be clear. Then you can AI the train. It won't relinquish, but it will actually stop. I might set some relinquish flags up in some of these places too, but we'll see. I wish they were visual right now, but they're not. Okay, glad you liked the stream. Anyways, that's it for now. I'm out of here, so enjoy for guys here, enjoy this, who's on the server and wants to benefit on this, so everything is in place. I still have to add some little names and whatever, but we'll get to that. Okay guys, that's it for now. I'm out of here. I gotta go to bed, whether I like it or I don't. My birthday is over. Time to go back to work tomorrow again. Well, I was at work today anyways, but never ends. Anyways, that's it for now. Have a good guys. Talk to you later. See ya.